This was a great and somewhat quick run out to Joshua Tree National Park and then back through Burns Canyon Road in the long weekend in January. We had 4 rigs on the run. Kevin made it, Yaniv came out, Carlton was there, and myself and my wife were in our Jeep. Just a great time. It's always nice to get out and see Joshua Tree and just explore the area. Although, as luck would have it, the area we decided to do some overlanding in, there were no actual Joshua trees around. It wasn't until we left the park that we started finding them a little bit north of that area. But fantastic trip, great scenery, beautiful area. Cold temperatures, had some rain, but we still loved it. We had opted while we were in the park to go explore an area up toward the Eagle Creek mine. which, we thought was going to be pretty good. The park ranger told us there was a gate partway up the road that would be closed or open. He wasn't sure which. So we decided we would go, we would explore. Our understanding was it was only a couple of miles, maybe 4 or 5 miles back to the gate. Around about, 6 or 7 miles, we actually found a gate. It was wide open, so we thought, great, we're in the clear, let's keep going. So we hustled on through there. Maybe 10 to 12 miles back, we got a bit of a surprise. Along the way, we encountered some challenging areas, encountered a lot of technical driving that needed to happen through some areas. This is easily the most technical driving I've done in years in and around Southern California. We had to do a little bit of road maintenance. We had some sketchy things. This giant rock here, there was plenty of broken glass on the ground right beside the rock where other people had tagged that rock with their vehicles and shattered windows. So we were trying to be super careful about it. The SUV you see coming through here now is Carlton, and let me tell you, for the whole weekend, he put on a clinic of how to drive a stock 4Runner through these areas. The rest of our vehicles are all built up, lifted, big aggressive tires, the whole thing. And Carlton came through in a stock 4Runner with stock tires. So, if anyone ever doubted the capability of the vehicles, don't. They're just fantastic. And when they're well driven, they're extremely capable. pear-shaped on us. And the right-hand side there, you can see Kevin up in the front with his flashing green lights. And you're going to be reminded here in a moment of a sign that we saw earlier in our journey, and we stopped to take a photo of it, and boom! They weren't kidding, because immediately in front of us was the Eagle Mountain Mining District and the active mine, with all roads shut down, which forced us at around 12 to 14 miles back to turn around and come right back where we had come from. So we got our photos and decided, hey, it's a great day for a drive in the desert. On the way back, you're going to see some of that technical driving that I talked about. There's a fairly large rock garden there, and that area is more technical than anything else I've driven in Southern California, including the Lippincott Mine Road in Death Valley. That road in Death Valley is certainly more dangerous due to the narrowness and the off-camber and the drop-offs there. But in terms of having to pick your way over large rocks, this road out to the Eagle Mine is easily the more technical of the roads. But if you like that kind of driving, it's just a good time. To ensure that big old rock wasn't going to be a problem for us and hopefully for others in the future, we decided to see if we could actually alter its location. Thankfully, Kevin had a 4-ton Caterpillar branded hydraulic jack on board, so we managed to lift the rock up to a point. We managed to do some rock stacking underneath it. It's difficult to see from here, but the effective difference is it moved the closest point of approach on the rock approximately 4 inches farther away. So it basically opened up the space where your vehicle has to maneuver by about 4 inches once we completed this. And then we did some rock stacking there, and that helped everybody slide through super smooth. naturally, our out and back to the mine had eaten up a bunch of our day, and we would run out of daylight. We'd be setting up camp in the dark this trip, but absolutely breathtaking views out in the valleys, in the desert, with the looming clouds, the endless roads, the big distances. There's been so much moisture out there recently, all kinds of fresh green colors, buds, everything popping in the desert. Just a beautiful time to be out there right now. So after making it back to our origin point for the day, we took the second road through the desert and headed off toward where our camp would be for the night. Of course, along the way, you have to be prepared. You have to be careful out here, and the Park Service has great signs out there to kind of scare you senseless. And make sure you're making the right choices, because there is danger in this area. Now, a few minutes after this next segment in the dark was filmed, we passed 8 or 10 Rivians that were off in the desert testing. They were accompanied by a Jeep Gladiator. They all looked like they knew what they were doing, so we just kept on to camp and relaxed for the night. After stopping at the end of the trail to air up everybody's vehicles, we just, drove on down the highway, stopped at the gas station, made sure we were all topped up on fuel, and then continued on our way into Joshua Tree, the community, and then onto the Burns Canyon Road.
Feel the ground under your feet. It can take you anywhere. Chasing shadows with you. Let's get broken, then repair. In times of anger, feeling hopeless, find that light under the door. Build a bridge right to the shore. All that could have been talk and would have been walks ain't never done much for help. Get on your feet and run. much temper, too much bittersweet. Burning candles on our own. The way if we get to where we're going now, we can always come back home. In times of anger, feeling hopeless, find that light under the door, build a bridge right to the shore. All that could have been talk and would have been wants, they never done much for help. Get on your feet and run. Keep it simple, keep it sweet, is a line I heard somewhere. Feel that ground beneath your feet, it can take you anywhere.
As you saw, we definitely found Joshua trees on this trip. Off of Burns Canyon Road, they're everywhere in that area in the desert. Beautiful views, snows up in the mountains, We had some rain showers, we had beautiful pops of green from a lot of the trees and the plants down where we were in the valley. Just a fantastic drive through this area. After we cleared this one final obstacle that we'd encountered on the trail, it was pretty much clear sailing. We followed the canyon out into the desert floor, down toward the highway, where ultimately we all opted to air up and head home. Weather was threatening, the mountains were getting snow, and very shortly thereafter, we started to encounter rain as we made our drive home.
hot, 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 hot,